Hello, welcome to my video. My name is Jude Greer, and I am going to be demonstrating the version of Ultima IV Quest of the Avatar that I created for Scratch. So I have it open here. You can see the absolute ton of sprites that I've created. I'm not going to go into a bunch of code because nobody wants to see that. So I'll just jump right into the game. So for anybody who's not aware, Ultima 4 came out, I think, 1985. Origin Systems was one of the most, I guess you could call it revered RPGs from the early days, and in fact, it still holds up pretty well. I played through it way back in the day, and I fairly recently played through it. And playing through it recently, it got me curious to see if I could actually create it in Scratch. I actually played. The one that I played recently was a remake called XU4 with updated graphics and music, and I thought that would be really cool to try in Scratch, so that's what I did here. And what I made in Scratch is basically complete. It has everything from the original game, overland travel, all the towns, cities, castles, Lord British's castle, of course, dungeons, the abyss, all modes of transportation. I mean, everything that is in the game is in this game. So it's took me quite a while to create, and actually the size of the project is too large for the Scratch servers, so I can't share it, which was a real bummer. So now I'm forced to basically create like a demo video to show it off a little bit for anybody who might want to watch it. And I will make have made and will make the project available for download on Google Drive. So anyway, let me jump right in and hit start. So this is kind of how the original game starts. Not exactly, but it jumps right into the sort of the view. You can see like the little avatar running around and on a small overland map. It's kind of in attract mode, you might call it. So any key to continue, you get the main menu. I'm going to configure it so that I'm going to turn cheats on because it'll be helpful for this demo. And I'm actually going to turn off terrain slowdown because it just gets annoying. And improve chests. This is one of the things that I changed with the game. The original game, chests would always only have a chance for gold. So I put a little chance in there for some other items, armor, weapons, and things, equipment. I thought it was a nice addition. So let me go ahead and initiate a new game. And it goes through this whole sequence of you're walking around and you find a circle of stones and you find an ankh. And the little moongate rises and you find an ankh where it was. You pick it up. Start taking a walk through the countryside, find this town you've never seen before, so already things are a bit mysterious. Walking through, you find a tarot card reader, so this is how your character creation proceeds in this game, is that she asks you a bunch of questions about what you would do in certain circumstances, and your answers dictate the class that you start off as. So we got a choice between justice and humility. I'm just going to buzz through this. I'm going to tailor my answers to ensure that I start with a bard, because the bard starts close to the town of Britain and Lord British's castle, so it's just a little helpful right from the start. So make sure that I answer all the... Oh, I already screwed up, I think. Did I? Let me see. Oh, no, okay, so here's my chance. Compassion. So once you're through with that, has to load everything, and we start here, and we can walk around. I think the first thing I'll do is just go in Lord British's castle. And for anybody who doesn't know, Ultima 4 basically uses all the letters as commands, and the arrow keys to move around. So for instance, A would be attack, and you can select a direction. And in this case, we want E to enter Lord British's castle. So we're entering the castle, there's a jester, and you can see that the line of sight is implemented, so I can't see through walls, and the angle's taken into account. This is directly from the original game, the line of sight calculation. So I'm going to walk right on up to... I used O to open that door. I'm going to walk right to Lord British's throne room. K to climb, because C is used for cast a spell. And we'll work our way around to talk to Lord British. So full conversations are implemented as well. I'll talk to LB. First time talking to him, so he's got a whole spiel, you know, because this is the 4th game in the series, so Lord British and the Avatar have met before, so he's happy to see the Avatar come back. Basically Lord British's purpose in this game is to help you. So if you ever ask help, he'll basically like, well, the game will look at where you are, like how far you've proceeded, how many quest items you have, and then he will tailor his help to where you're at in the game. So since I just started, he's going to give me this whole thing about just how to survive in the land. You know, get some weapons, walk around, fight monsters. The other important thing he does is, if you ask about his health, he'll tell you he's doing great, and then he'll ask how we are, and if we say we're not doing too good, he'll throw a spell on us to heal the party, which is nice. And then I'm just going to leave. So I'll work my way around, get out of the way. Let me just D to descend a ladder. So down here is a guy named Hawkwin the Seer. He is basically here to inform the Avatar how well they're doing on their progress in the 8 virtues. The 8 virtues are very important in this game. There's honesty, compassion, valor, justice, sacrifice, honor, spirituality, and humility. And he'll let you know how you're doing if you talk to him. He'll say, what path do you seek enlightenment in? And if I just say honesty, he'll say, I seem to be honest and continue to do so. And the whole point of this game is to become like an expert level in all 8 of the virtues. That way you can become an avatar, and then you can enter the final dungeon and attempt to retrieve the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, which is the point of the game. That's the goal. So, and this, for whatever reason, he put sleep fields in his room, so it's just annoying walking through sometimes, especially if you only have one character, because once all your characters fall asleep, you see all the sleeping Z's. But if you have 6 characters, then the likelihood of them all falling asleep is less, and you can get through it easier. But anyway, I digress. So let's walk back out. Oh, and I can turn off the line of sight if I want. You can start to see that there's other stuff to see in here. I can turn clipping off if I want to just walk through all the walls and stuff. I mean, there's a bit to find in his castle, but I mean, it's meant to be not seen, and I'll turn clipping off. So get out of here. So this is the town of Britain. I don't really need to go in there. Let's see, let me find something to fight. I'll just walk around. Oh, there's a skeleton. He's gonna come attack us. So now we're fighting a skelly. Let me see, oh yeah, I have a sling, so I have a ranged weapon. And here's a chest. I can get it. 42 gold, which is cool. Let's see, so what else? I'm just gonna go ahead and spawn a ship. Actually, I'll spawn... yeah, I think I'm in the wrong spot to spawn. I need to... because it spawns to my right. So let's go ship. I misspelled that. There we go. So if I board it, we can do ship travel, and this is sometimes extremely aggravating with the winds. If the winds are working against you, it just slows you way down. So this is the ship travel. You can see some monsters. Oh, and you can fire your ship's cannon with F. I can take care of these guys from long distance, but there's it's not very useful because you get no XP and no gold from it either. Oh, this guy's working me over. So let's just fight this guy. I'm actually gonna fight him. Stop it. Okay. Now I can attack him. So this is the boat, or the ship combat screen. You can attack. You can attack through the walls on a ship. That's the way it was in the original as well. This guy's running away. Get back here. Alright. Alright, so he fled. So get rid of this guy. Now winds are north again. So if I exit, I'll just go here. So back in the options, when I turned off terrain slowdown, that's why it's so much easier to walk through these hills, because otherwise they're just like very slow. Bridges can occasionally have trolls. If you just keep kind of moving over one, eventually there's a random chance. I thought it was a 1 in 8 chance, so I should have hit one by now. Ooh. Who's gonna attack me? I'll attack this orc. Make short work of this guy. Get the chest. Oh well, it's just taking too long for a random encounter. One thing I will do is go over to a dungeon. I happen to know that there's a dungeon. I'll turn off line of sight. There's a dungeon over here. Oh, and I gotta do no clip. So I'm just gonna cheat my way through and enter the dungeon. It's dark, so I gotta ignite a torch. So this is the first person view dungeon. If I just descend, there we go. Now if I go in this door, I think this is a dungeon room. Yeah, so we get, the dungeons have dungeon rooms with sort of predetermined fights in them. And this room actually shows another feature of the original, which was dungeon triggers. If you step on certain squares, it can alter the map a little. So if I step, I think it's right, the next one. There we go. So see, oh, I gotta cure myself. Oh, I don't have any cures. I gotta mix. Oh, I can't mix, so, but it's okay because poison doesn't. I got poisoned when I stepped on that little swampy square, and you can see the poison status here. But while you're in a combat screen, poison doesn't cause you to lose hit points. But you see that this opened up right here, and if I step there, oh, this opens, and I can proceed further into the dungeon. So I'm gonna actually give myself all the equipment, and so that I can peer at a gem, which I've implemented as well. This is the gem view, which is like a map view. It shows my position is the little red shield. Next to me is the dungeon room I just went in, and next to that is the ladder that I descended. So if I leave this, you can see that, oh, my poison is now starting to do some damage, so I have to mix a reagent for spell cure, and I happen to know that takes ginseng and garlic, so I select both of those. I'm going to go ahead, because poison is just always happening, I'm going to make 3 of them, and I'm going to cast cure on myself. That was weird. I'll have to check that. That was a bug, so the way that the whole dungeon view just blacked out. But anyway, I'll climb. Now one of these walls. Uh-oh. Looks like I hit a bug, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So it seems like Scratch doesn't coexist with my screen recording software very well. I'm using the NVIDIA Shadowplay, and I don't know, after a little while, I I guess Scratch runs out of memory and it just sort of just stops working. So that's what that was. Anyway, I got back to where I was, top of these stairs, and I was kind of looking for the secret door at the top, and I didn't see it, and I refreshed my memory, and that's because it's on level 4. So if you descended level 4 and you peer at a gem, you'll see that next to the avatar there's those little dots. That means that's a secret door. So that's to the east, so if I just go through, I can do that, and now we have another battle screen. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill all here so I can work my way through easier. Another kill all is in order. And one more. And you can see that dungeon rooms can also have chests in them. Oh, I just got put to sleep. Acid, okay, so if I just proceed down, I think it's back in the normal dungeon, yeah. So let me peer at a gem. So you can see that above me, to the north of me, there was those 3 dungeon rooms I just worked my way through. And then I can go to that ladder that leads up. But actually I'm going to go to those fountains. If you look right here, you can see there's some fountains. Just to show those fountains were implemented, so I'm going to turn off clipping so I don't have to go through those anymore. East, north, so it should be easy. East, north, east, north. There we go. So, so there's fountains and orbs. The orbs are pretty cool because if you touch them, if you search and touch them, it'll actually raise your stats. Strength, intelligence, or dexterity, depending on the dungeon. I'm not going to do that because it does a bunch of damage, and I think it might kill the person who touches it, because I think it'll do like 300 or 400 hit points of damage. Behind it is a fountain, which you can drink from if you search. Who drinks? Refreshing. Because it normally, like if you search for something, it'll ask you who you want to do that action if you have more than one party member. But if you only have one party member, it just auto-selects, so Iolo drank it, and it was refreshing. So that's about it for the dungeon. I will work my way out of here. Appear to gem. Oh, I should go west twice and north a bunch to get to the ladder. Oh, so this is actually a random encounter, and you can see that this encounter happened to occur on a tile with an up and down ladder, so that's why it looks a little different. Just take care of this guy. So here's that. I'm gonna go to this ladder so I can actually climb out and exit the dungeon back to the surface. So in order to get out of here, I have to turn off clipping, because normally to access this dungeon you would need a boat, or I guess you could get lucky and use the balloon or blink. So anyway, so back to overland travel. Yeah, so I can search around, just go down to another town. I think over here is Trinsic. No, it's a little further south. Trinsic is, there's 8 main towns, and each one represents one of the 8 virtues. So if I go to Trinsic, I must have missed it. This is peering at a gem. Anyway, I can use my cheats to just go there. Trinsic happens to be the town of honor, which I think is 6. Yeah, so it doesn't take you to Trinsic, but it takes you near it. Uh-oh. Turn off clipping. Oh yeah, I missed it before, so here's Trinsic. Enter it. This is an example of one of the towns. I could actually pick up a companion here. What's his name? Dupree. He's here. I think that this might be him, actually. You meet a handsome fighter. What's your name, pal? I am Dupree. So in every other town, except for your starting town, you can pick up a new companion. And you can't immediately pick them all up. It's dependent on your level. But I can pick up one more right now. So there's a special keyword to do that, which is join. But let's say I didn't even know, like I'm just in this town. I think at some point in the conversation he'll say that he'd love to join me. So if I say, how's your health? And he's well. And I say, what's your job? He is the town leader. Okay, so and conversations in Ultima 4 are they can lead you to keywords. So each of the conversations, if you pick up a keyword, you can ask about it. And some of the keywords come from other characters. So if you talk to somebody and he says, hey, ask Dupree about, a magic word, and then you go to Dupree and say word, you might get some information that you couldn't have just gotten out of Dupree had you not visited that other character. That's why in a lot of cases, Ultima 4 becomes like you go talk to this person, and then you have to run back to another place you've already been, and it becomes very time consuming. Still fun, but it's definitely old school gaming. So he says he's town leader. I'm going to ask about leader. He says, 'tis an honor. And honor happens to be the virtue of this town. So already we're hearing about honor here. He says, 'tis an honor. And then characters can also ask the avatar questions. Dost thou try to live honorably? And I said, well, yes, I try to. So I say yes. And he says, it is a constant quest. Honor is like finely polished armor. Without constant care, it will soon tarnish. I don't know if any of his every conversation you can abbreviate it to the first 4 letters. So I just said tarn. I'm going to ask about honor. It gives life meaning. Life, nothing, meaning, nothing. So somebody must tell you, or I'm not sure how you know that Dupree is somebody who will join you, but he is. And maybe you're just expected to ask everybody you come across. So if you say join, they'll say, I'm honored to join thee, and he now is party member number 2. Oh, and full merchants have been implemented as well. I walk over here and I decide, is there no weapons vendor here? Oh, here it is. So I got a little gold, I can buy a weapon. I talk to this vendor. Welcome to Dueling Weapons. You want to buy or sell? I want to buy. Oh, I have everything. I forgot because I gave myself full equipment. So you can see up here, I basically got 8 of everything from the whole gamut. So I don't need to buy anything, that's for sure. I could sell a bunch of the stuff to him and get just gobs of gold, but I don't really need to, so I'll exit. Same with armor. I'll talk to this guy, and if I say I want to buy, he's like, I mean, I can buy stuff, but I have 8 of everything, and since the maximum party members is 8, I really wouldn't need all that anyway, so I'll just leave. Let's see, anything else? I think that's about it. Like I said, the game is fully playable, fully winnable. It's got all the various things that are required to enter, progress, and basically finish the game. Get the codex. The whole codex endgame sequence is in. I'm probably the only one that will ever see that, but it's there. So anyway, yeah, that's my version of Ultima 4. It took about 7 months to do it all, of pretty much working every day. Not full time, I got a job, but at night, kids go to bed, I'd work on this. Lots of challenges working within the scratch limits. And a big one is something that is right in front of you the whole time, which is the text, especially this console. I could have used the drawing tools to draw the text, but it really just came out not looking very good at all. And obviously the first thing that jumped to mind was to just take each character and render them one at a time, but The sprite limit in Scratch prevented that. Scratch limits us to 300 sprites. The map view is 11 by 11. That takes 121 right there. And then I had to allocate a bunch of, since some tiles can mix with what's under them, I had to allocate, I think, like 60 tiles for the map view that could blend. And then all the text is sprites. So this whole area had to accommodate 8 players with their number and their name and their status and hit points. And that's why I did not allow the user to name their avatar, which was a trade-off. Normally when you start a new game you can name your avatar, but I just disallowed it and I went with the default names for all the characters from all the different towns. So rendering the text was a huge challenge. I wound up pre-rendering as an SVG every word in the game. So I think it was about 6,000. And they're indexed by the word itself. So it's fast. It works well, but it takes a lot of sprites, and I think it's a big consumer of memory. So if you look at your stats, this is all also more text rendering. So anyway, because I didn't give myself items. So these are the quest items. If I give myself the quest items, you can see that quest items show up here. There's stones, there's runes, there's a bell, book, and candle to enter the final dungeon. There's a 3-part key to enter the final room of the final dungeon. There's a horn, a wheel, and a skull, used for various other things. They're all there. Reagents, there's a lot more reagents. If I get myself full reagents and full mixtures, I'll go back to my stats. So reagents, there's 8 different types. 2 of the types are hidden. You can't buy them off of merchants. So there's little searchable areas on the overland map where you can get nightshade and mandrake root. That's implemented as well. And then these are the mixtures for the different spells. There's a spell for every letter. So from awaken, fireball, ice ball, dispel, everything, and they all work. And that's it. Anyway, again, this was based off of the XU4 remake, and a huge shout out to that team. Without that, I could not have done this. I went into their source code a lot to get the algorithms in some cases, line of sight stuff, because I just wasn't sure how it was done. Somebody on that team had obviously poured over the original binaries, or decompiled them somehow. So huge shout out to the XU4 team, and I lifted the graphics from them as well. So yeah, that was huge assistance. And anyway, I'm pretty proud of this, and check it out. And in the description, I'll put a link to the Google Drive that I have this project sitting in. If anybody wants to check it out, you'll have to download the offline Scratch editor, which isn't a big deal, and then load this up there, and you can play it too if you want. Let me know in the comments if you do decide to play it or how this looks, and I'd love to hear it, because I don't think not being able to share it on Scratch means that pretty much nobody will see it. So anyway, thanks for coming this far with me, and yeah, thank you.